Hi everybody, welcome along to another video of Arsenal Fan Circle. Come on in, pull up a chair, everybody's welcome here. Following on from that spectacular win versus Bournemouth yesterday and 5-1, and I actually thought it would be a shaky and nervy game. I thought we would win 2-1, scrape by a little bit, but very happy that I'm wrong. 5 goals, and one was unfortunate with Guendouzi, but we're going to forgive him. He's a young player, and yes, you have to take it on a player-by-player basis and take into account their requisite experience and all that good stuff. I think Guendouzi will be a better player for that bad experience he had. He does try to do things on the edge of the box far too many times, and that might modify his game a little bit. But I'm very happy. 5-1 win. This was a game where Ozil was on fire and Mkhitaryan too, so both players excelled yesterday. Happy that the goals were being spread around. Mkhitaryan got a goal, Ozil got a goal, so goals are coming from midfield now. We got a goal from Koscielny, another great game from the captain. And of course, Aubameyang getting a nice goal, linking up with Mkhitaryan. That's kind of what we wanted to see from 12 months ago even. Those two partnering up, Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang, from their Dortmund days and doing some damage for Arsenal. Lacazette came on in the second half and did some damage with a pretty good free kick. From what I'd seen, it was looked like a worked free kick, a training ground routine. So things are on the up and up, and we're all excited about that. So let's keep the show going. Let's keep things moving for us. So wanted to point out a few things, and I want to give you guys more facts, and I try to set myself apart from other channels by giving you more facts, more information they may not have seen or considered before, and sort of giving you the scoop a little bit. Try to project ahead in the future as well. So I just wanted to let you guys know that we are actually 11 points better off this season than last season. And we have, last season we had 13 wins and 6 draws. This season we have 17 wins and 5 draws. That's 4 more wins, 1 less draw, so that accounts for 11 points being better off. Our goal difference was plus 12 last year at this time of the season, and right now it's plus 22, and we are three goals better off than Manchester United right now. So goal difference is going to be important, and when and where we can get 5 goals is really a good thing. Other things I was looking at, our points through the whole season, we were averaging 2.00 points through the season so far, but in our last 8 games we're averaging 2.25 points, so we're actually up 12.5% in the last 8 games. Goals scored, through the season we've been doing 2.14 goals per game. The last 8 games we've gotten 2.25. These are fractional increases, but they're good increases. A plus 5.1% on goals scored. Now, goals conceded. All through the season we've been conceding 1.36 goals a game. The last 8 games it's been 1.00 goals per game. So we are minus 26.5% on our goals conceded rate. Now, look at our goals scored through the league. You may have heard this in places. We're actually the 3rd highest goal scorers in the Premier League right now. We are on 60 goals scored so far, and Manchester City have 75, while Liverpool have 64. So if we score 4 more goals than Liverpool from the rest of the season, we will be the 2nd highest top goal scorers in the league, which is fantastic. We all know that we're going to be able to score goals in this team. We've got strikers that can do that. But our goals against, that needs to be addressed, and it looks like the last 8 games we're conceding 1.00 as opposed to 1.36. We've reduced our goals against by 26 0.5%. But we still have our total at 38 goals, I think it is right now, conceded. That puts us at a top 8 and below level. So we're still conceding too many goals, and we need to tighten up at the back. But we've been doing that recently. 10 games to go, guys. Got to be excited. If you can't hear it in my voice, for sure I'm excited about this, you know. Great win versus Bournemouth. We got those 3 wins that we talked about on the Sunday shows. So if you're new to this channel, check it out. If you like what I'm putting out in content wise, sub me, do what you need down there in the notifications and all that. But we have a Sunday show with Gunded News, and we started bringing on some guests. Last Sunday we had Luca Quarta. Thanks, Luca, for coming on. Really appreciate it. You brought some good stuff to the table, and we will be having you on again, Luca. But what was my point? My point was, last Sunday we talked about, I've lost my train of thought, but never mind. See, excited, too excited. I think next Sunday we're going to do a points total. So after the Tottenham game, we're going to be adding up our points totals and what we predict that we can get. We usually have a few regular guests on, London Old School and Noe Donis and Richard. So please, if you're looking at this, do your totals for Saturday so you guys can participate. I will have a high-tech pad and markers, very high-tech, so that I can add your points totals as well. So we're going to do that on the Sunday show. We're also going to be reviewing the Tottenham game. Now, let's move on to the Tottenham game. This is kind of a recap of the Bournemouth game, but we're kind of moving on up now. Let's talk about actually the weekend really quickly. Manchester United got a win, so they're on our coattails. You know, I had said that I preferred if Chelsea beat Tottenham. That's what happens. I'm ambitious. I want to see if we can get after that 3rd spot. And I'm willing to, as you might see, I'll point to a video I did about 10 days ago about our route to the top 4. Some of you may have seen it. If you're new to this channel, take a look at it at the end of this video. Route to the top 4. So I've actually outlined how Chelsea have the most difficult run in. So I'm not too worried about Chelsea beating Tottenham. I'm ambitious. I want to get the Arsenal. I want to shift the power back in North London. If any Tottenham fans want to say that they're the best team in the league, they have kind of a little bit of a case in the last 2 seasons and through the league points total. I'm ambitious. I want to get back on top of Tottenham in the league. I want to have a St. Tottenham's Day, whether that be in May or April. I'm easy with that. Let's have a St. Tottenham's Day this year, please. We got to get past Tottenham. So I'm quite ambitious. Let's forget about racing for top 4, and let's look at Tottenham on Saturday. So I'm willing to say this is our biggest game yet. Tottenham at Wembley. They are the homeless, but there's no reason to be kind to the homeless this year. These people need to be kicked out. Evicted from 3rd place. They're losing they're losing themselves a little bit. They're going very, very Spursy. It's our biggest game yet, and it's our toughest assignment. If you want to take it in terms of progression for us this season, this is our toughest assignment. We all know we're not as good as Manchester City or Liverpool right now this season. Hopefully we can progress. But if we are looking at progressing, are we going to progress to be a top 3 team? We started out the season as a top 5 or top 6 team, and through the season we have been fighting for top 4. But with various things, we've been fighting Chelsea and Manchester United, as I've spoken about before. At the beginning of the season, we thought that Mr. Mourinho would have 3rd season syndrome, and that happened. They've got some injuries now over at Manchester United, so let's see if we can see them off. But let's also look at top 3. We got to push Tottenham on Saturday, and on the evidence of this season, so far this season has been a success, because we were looking at 5th and 6th, maybe 4th. Now we're looking at 3rd place. Some of us more ambitious Schooners are looking at 3rd place. Yes, it might be a little bit unrealistic, but let's see what we can do. Let's go for it, you know what I mean? The last 10 games will also need to be taken into account when we recap this season. Emery and the team have done really, really well so far. Like I said before, we are not the banter club right now. That is Chelsea and Manchester United and even Tottenham. And we're having fun with it right now, you know. So we have to take these next 10 games into account in determining our quality and resilience. You know, we have been a more robust and efficient team this season, no doubt. We are not the soft touch that we used to be. Especially away from home, we've done a lot better, I feel, this season than last, and that is the big difference. We all know that we can garner points at the Emirates, and we've done exceptionally well there. I think we're probably the 2nd or 3rd highest in terms of teams collecting points at home. But some people say we have only won 5 games away from home. You have to realize it is very difficult to win games away from home. And 5 games won is not a bad haul at all. So this season we have won 12 games at home and 5 games away from home. Looking at the schedule, we have approximately 4 or 5, I think 5 more games away from home in our schedule. So if we're going to do anything in terms of top 4 or even top 3, we have to win at least probably 3 more of those games. And who could say winning 8 games away from home this season was not a bad haul, along with probably a couple of draws here and there. We have not done too badly. I think we've only lost once away at home at the Emirates. So looking at our schedule, we have lost 5 games away from home. We've won 5 games away from home. I think we may have like drawn 3 or 4. So, you know, that's not bad. Going forward for Saturday's game, and I'm starting to see Emery's preferred lineup and preferred team, depending on whether he wants to play 5 at the back or 4 at the back. I think with this Tottenham game, he's going to want to play 5 at the back. So here's the team. I'm going to try and get inside Emery's head. I've always been trying to pick teams that have that I feel was best to go with, but I'm going to get inside Emery's head here for a minute and try to predict Saturday's lineup. So I'd go for Leno, obviously, in goal, who was very, very good against Bournemouth. And I feel a quick point on Leno. I think he's done quite well this season. He's not been the liability that some people feel that he is. At the back, stick with Koscielny, Socrates and Monreal as the 3 at the back. I would go with Jenkinson now. He played quite well last night versus Bournemouth. And here's the thing, Emery does seem to like Kolasinac on the left side. I played it 2. I'd bring Xhaka back in and Torreira. They're 2 solid guys in midfield. This is not a game for Guendouzi, and he can bring his energy off the bench if needs be. Mkhitaryan had such a great game, you could not drop him. And Iwobi, I would bring him back in on the left-hand side. Now, there's a case I would play Ozil. I would play Ozil at White Hart Lane. Let's see what he's about. We know what he can do against teams mid-table and down, particularly at home. But we need to evaluate what he can do away from home against a top 6 team. And we need to see if he can cut the mustard. You know, he's got to help us in the top four fight. That's what he has been doing, and he has sparked the team, no doubt, along with Mkhitaryan. They are the 2 of them were man of the match, and Mkhitaryan had a fine finish as well on Sunday versus Southampton. Finally, I would play Lacazette up front. This is not really a game for Aubameyang. I feel like Tottenham are going to have a lot of possession, and we need to press Tottenham as best as possible, and Laka can do that from the front. Confidence is surging, and I would also have Ramsey on the bench, along with Guendouzi, of course. Confidence is surging in this team. We have no reason to be afraid of Tottenham. Let's go after them. Let's get the victory. If we get a victory, it would be one bloody point behind them, and they would really be reeling. Undoubtedly Manchester United and Chelsea, one of those two are going to stick on our coattails as well. So we need to be vigilant. We need to get a win against Tottenham. Worst case scenario, let's not take a defeat. If we can get out of there with a draw, I'd be very happy, because we do have Manchester United later on in next month, like 10 days from now, and that's really going to be a great game. But this has been my video for reviewing the Bournemouth game and a little preview of White Hart Lane's, well, not Shite Hart Lane, they're the homeless. Wembley have took them in for this season, and we're going to go to Wembley and we're going to play well and we're going to beat them. Come on, you Gunners. But reference the top four, route to the top four video that I did talk about. I'm going to put it right there, and you guys can click on that, take a look at it. It's got a lot of valid points for the remaining part of this season. But I'm out of here. This has been a long enough video, and thanks for staying to the end. Come on, you Gunners, we can do this.